Long ago.
No, it would have toughened you up a bit.
Oh yeah, because I'm slack. I'm a dainty girly man. That's
My mother is the most notorious harpy.
Remember that? You finally admitted it.
Yes.
Dainty girly man.
It's the red chance, right?
Yeah,
is it about the snake that brings out the horns and all of
That
that?
makes it a Mayday.
But the event is over, we are finally allowed to sing again.
Mayday feeling.
Oh, joy.
I know.
That's a good Christian value.
My
Well,
uncle
ladies,
spoke
welcome
out.
once again to the History, Customs and Manners Show. I am your host, the Duke of Suffolk, Lord Charles Brandon, and these are my compatriots. If they wish to introduce themselves now, they may do so because... was everybody here yesterday?
No, some of these were not.
So, introduce yourself.
Margaret Lee, Lady Lee, Mistress of the Queen's Wardrobe.
Owen Fairfield, boatswain's mate of the Seahawk.
Martin Fairfield, captain of the privateer vessel Seahawk, also Baroness Sussex.
Thomas Cromwell, Secretary of State, Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Penelope Weaver. Weaver, of course.
And very happy.
She's cheerful.
She's very cheerful.
Today we're going to, unless we digress into other subjects.
Oh, that never happens, your brain.
Sometimes do. We are going to discuss our belief systems. And I want to begin, I actually had to write it down because I did not want to get this wrong, but I want to begin with something that may seem a little confrontational. Please understand that it is not meant to be so, but I want it very clearly understood that your age is not intellectually superior to ours. Our beliefs are shaped, just as yours are, by the conditions in which we live. And we are no less rational or intelligent than you. And the conclusions that we reach make perfect sense given our belief systems.
All throughout human history, people have tried to make sense of the world with the information that they have. Sometimes that information is incorrect, sometimes it's quite accurate. But regardless, it's the search for truth as we know it that drives all of our belief systems today.
The thing that I want to make clear, and the thing that I want to impart as strongly as possible, is any time you are looking at the past and you are looking at what seems to be something that makes absolutely no sense to you, remember that very likely it made perfect sense to the people at the time because of the way they viewed their world.
The fallacy that people in our time were ignorant and uneducated is just that, it's a fallacy. Much the same as you know how to do specific things in your world, we know how to do things that would make your mouth run agape.
Now, there have always been ignorant and ill-educated people all throughout human history as well.
Oh yes, we're not saying that there are none in our time.
We have those as well, but so do you.
Have any of you ever had the great opportunity to read any of St. Augustine? If you ever have the opportunity, it is a tough read. You don't need to read very much to get through it because he's very difficult. He is one of the great intellects of the church. He is responsible for many things. He gave us purgatory. He gave us limbo. He gave us a lot of interesting things like that. But he is also probably one of the most intelligent men that has ever walked this planet. And to read him is to understand what a vast intellect. In his time, and he was writing in the 6th century, is that correct?
Right, it was the latter days of the Roman Empire.
In the 6th century, I believe, he had already come up with the idea of time as a construct. Not just something that goes through on the daily life, but something that is separated apart and exists as a construction that has been created by God. The man was a giant. And we have many of those in the 16th century as well. Some of the things we do believe. We are very strongly rooted in the church. The church holds the keys to many of our belief systems.
Much as the clergy holds your soul in the palm of their hands.
At the same time, we have grown up, particularly in England, but throughout Europe, with our traditions, our folk beliefs. And these folk beliefs have become integrated interchangeably and almost and inseparably from our religious beliefs.
They're interwoven. Think of them as two sides of the same coin in 1533.
They are. There's your Christian beliefs, and then there are your folk beliefs. Two sides, same coin.
Everyone has both. What is interesting and different between people is how much of each a person has. Those of higher station, often more of the orthodox religious belief. Those of lower station, often more on folk belief. But both sides have both.
One of the things that I find fascinating is that just now, in our time, in the 16th century, when that heretic Martin Luther is starting to spout his stuff.
Yeah.
Is
awful.
Yeah.
But he has disavowed the church's belief in a great many things. He is absolutely convinced, and as are all Lutherans, that there's no such thing as ghosts, because they do not appear in the Bible. If a Lutheran and myself were to see a spectral figure, or something glowing, or something we did not understand up there, neither of us would disagree about its reality. We would absolutely know it was real. He would claim it was a demon. I would say it was a spirit or an apparition.
Well, Grace, I'm curious. If each of us six was to see a strange light in the night sky, what would you think it was?
It would be an angel.
I would know it is the black horse come down the sky.
What is the black horse?
We'll tell you later. We'll let you.
I would call it an angel.
I would say it's an angel come down to take one of us to heaven.
As a man of science and of law, the strange lights appear all the time. I think some of them appear in the mind of the beholder quite often, usually after a cup or two.
Mistress Weaver?
It's true.
No soul.
I have a soul.
You're not using it then.
So you really don't think it might be a demon or something? What a rational man.
Too much
No,
logic.
no, I would not, of course, gainsay the holy book. Of course, there are such things as demons, but a light in the sky, Your Grace, these are things that drunkards see, not rational men.
Mistress Weaver?
Oh, that's a witty retort.
What say you?
I don't have to be a rational man. And so, I know, in my heart of hearts, that he's the spirit of one of my dead family. Bless their souls.
Notice these are very different answers.
We all have different ways that we